What? Do you not agree?
No!
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. No.
What do you think?
How is that okay?
Why do you not think it's okay?
That's good.
What?
Do you agree with that?
Well, let me ask you, what do you think of fox hunting?
Fox hunting? Depends if you're rich or not, I suppose.
Do you think it's okay to kill an animal if you don't need to? Well, if somebody was kicking a dog over there?
Well, that would be
bad?
overhit them, they'd have to make it.
What about badger baiting? Where they dig up badgers and let dogs rip them in pieces? You don't like any of that stuff?
Well, I like bacon and that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
see,
we eat meat, like.
what about sending animals to a slaughterhouse to have their throats cut and be shot in the head,
Well,
gassed, electrocuted? What?
I like all my meat.
I like meat
We
too.
sell pets.
I like meat too. But if you can eat something else that tastes pretty much the same and an animal doesn't have to be...
all that flour shit, all that fake meat.
You don't have to. I don't eat it either, mate. Just eat plants. Just eat plants. So, killer question. What about animals that get sent to slaughterhouses, get shot in the head, hung upside down, have their throat cut to be turned into a burger?
Oh, I see.
No, but that's different because they're not tortured or anything. If you're like halal or something, it's like quick and easy and done. You don't need to be.
I've seen the whole process. I'm a vegan and an animal rights activist, so I've been into slaughterhouses. So you do agree with the sign then?
No.
Well, you obviously do if you're not.
Oh, do you agree with the sign?
Yeah.
No, because you're putting it in the perspective where it's completely wrong. You're saying all animals are allowed to be abused for pleasure, as in kicking a dog. You're not like food-wise.
So it's bad to kick a dog.
Yes.
But it's not.
Pets.
But it's okay to hang an animal upside down and cut their throat.
No, but that's the sort of like cows. The overpopulation of cows is actually becoming a global
Because farmers
problem.
are breeding them into existence.
Yes.
So farmers
For food.
should not breed them into existence, and people could eat plants instead. So there's no overpopulation crisis. What?
Why would you want to eat plants?
Why would you not? I haven't.
It's weird.
I've been eating plants since I was 19. I'm 55 now.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
So you're telling me you agree with my side, even though 5 minutes ago you disagreed with it?
No, I don't agree with it.
No, but
Why would I?
It doesn't make any sense. I disagree with it. Everybody else in this street agrees with it because they go into McDonald's or Tesco's or KFC and they pay for animal abuse for pleasure, for a taste sensation when you can just eat something else. You get it?
I get it, like, but I still like my meat.
I like my meat too, but is it worth making an animal suffer for when you can just eat something else?
But people are going to.
I'm not judging it. I paid for it as well. I just have information now that I didn't know before. I'm an animal rights activist. I go into slaughterhouses and farms. Yeah, nobody does, man. If you could stand there and see it happening,
Yeah, I know.
you'd feel differently about it.
So what's your goal of out here today?
are you saying then a fox hunts other animals for food? Yes. Is that okay?
Yes,
But why?
because for two
we hunt
reasons.
animals for food-
For two reasons. Let me explain it. First of all, they're obligate carnivores. So if they don't eat other animals, they will die. So that's survival.
Right.
We're not. We're depending on the science you read, whether they're omnivores or herbivores, one or the other.
Right.
Omnivores can survive on a plant-based and thrive on a plant-based diet.
Right.
And number two, they don't have moral agency. So a fox doesn't look at a chicken or a hen or a cat or whatever and think, I'm going to cause suffering and pain if I eat that animal. But we are moral agents. We decide on what's right and what's wrong. And hurting an animal is wrong if you don't need to.
Right. But an omnivore will kill an animal anyway.
Some will. Some will. Yeah.
Well, most.
Yeah. But an omnivore in the wild will eat whatever it needs to survive, like a wild dog, like a dingo, for example.
Right.
So they'll kill another animal, they'll eat the animal, and they'll also eat the contents of their stomach, should it be vegetables or whatever. We're not in that situation. We're not in a survival situation. We do not need to harm animals. Do you not think that's how we should all try and live, not try and hurt animals?
Well,
When you don't need to.
whereabouts you get your protein?
Where do you think a cow gets its protein from? 700 kilograms. What do they eat?
Eat grass. The grass.
Have you ever seen a greyback gorilla?
Yeah.
One of the big muscular ones. They're about 300 kilograms. What do they eat?
Bananas. White
Leaves. If you eat enough food, mate, you'll get enough protein. Strongest man in the world 2 years ago was vegan. Strongest man in the world 2 years ago, Parag Bavumia, he's a German guy, vegan. One of the places, 2015 or 16 was Mr. Universe. He's vegan.
Is it?
Yes. So if you eat enough food, you'll get enough protein. Man, the protein thing's a complete nightmare.
No, you need good protein though.
You need protein.
Yeah.
You need protein, but you can get it from plants. You get it from the animals get it from.
It's not optimal, is it?
No, that's old school nonsense. They'll tell you it doesn't have all the essential amino acids. And yes, most plants don't have all 9 or 10 or however, how many essentials are they telling us now? I think it's 9. But one plant has 8 and this other one will have 8 different ones. So if you just eat 2 different plants, you'll get all your essential amino
How
acids.
long have you been off meat, animal?
Since I was 19. I'm nearly 55 now. So we feed
That's just
over 75% of the
That's
plants
right.
that we grow on this planet to animals.
Right?
So we kill about 76, 78 billion land animals every year. Right? There's only 8 billion human beings. So I'll give you one example. From the Amazon last year, you know they're cutting down the Amazon. Well, that's for animal agriculture. They're either farming animals on the land or they're growing soy and corn maize to feed the animals. So pigs, for example, here, we imported in this country last year 500 million tons of soy and corn maize to feed the pigs. That's a ton. There's 4.89 million people in Ireland. That's a ton per person. So you can eat bacon sandwich every now and again. Doesn't make any sense. So if you can survive and thrive on a vegan diet,
Yeah, I could survive.
and no animals have to suffer, no animals have to be thrown into gas chambers, they don't have to be shot in the face, they don't have to be electrocuted. When you can just walk into McDonald's and buy a McPlant instead, or walk into KFC and buy the vegan chicken nuggets instead. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I don't like the thought of killing animals.
No, and nobody would do it. Like, put it this way, if somebody was kicking a wee dog over there now, what would you guys do?
Stop them. Start kicking them.
You'd either stop them or shout at them to stop, depending on how big they are.
Yeah. Bobby's alright.
But when you go into a shop and buy an animal product, you're literally paying somebody to do something an animal you would never do. You'd never hurt an animal. Cows are shot in the head, by the way. They're shot with a cap, they bolt in the head to the stand. They're hung upside down and their throats are cut.
What would you do if you were about to die? The only food source were pigs.
It's a good question. Survival's a totally different thing. If you have to do something to survive, then you do it.
Would you do it?
But no, well, I wouldn't want to. I would not want to. But in a survival situation, I believe it to be different. Like if you were attacked by a bear, I'm not going to go just, fuck it, I'm vegan, just let the bear rip that guy to pieces. I'd fight the bear off, or try to at least anyway. So survival is completely different, and every single person in Belfast today is not, and you're never going to be stranded on a desert island, man. That's never going to happen. That's good. I mean, I don't mind the questions because people do have. I'm here to answer the questions and give people information. We're not in that situation. You can walk into Starbucks or Nero or Greg's of about 10 different vegan options now.
I see where you're coming from, but that's just the way humans are. They're wired to
I get it.
kill cows and just
It's how humans are because you were taught, like me, from when you were young,
Right.
to
But-
love some animals. Like an arbitrary line. So you love cats and dogs, and
It
if
would
somebody
probably take like 100 years or
Well,
maybe
man.
more to get that goal. Like,
that doesn't mean to say you just have to pay into it. Does that make sense? If you think something's wrong. So you're taught when you're young that bullfighting's wrong, and if somebody shoots a rambi or shoots a lion, that's wrong. But these other animals that are killed in slaughterhouses, you're taught it's normal, it's needed, and it's necessary. It's none of them. It's not necessary. It's not necessary.
It's not necessary, but there's a line you have to draw.
there's a humane way of killing them animals.
What's the
There's not a
humane way?
way
goal's fine.
How would I humanely kill someone?
like, sure, Muslims are like halal and haram.
I've seen both. But you do find vegan products you like. The supermarkets are full of about 50 different vegan burgers now. It's like meat products. You don't like them all, do you? No. You don't like liver probably. But you'll find one that you do like. So it's just about keeping in your head that when you eat the product or you wear a leather jacket, there's been a victim involved. Somebody's been shot in the head, you know. Well, let me put it to you one way. This is my question to you. If we have a choice, which you do have, to eat animals and to not eat animals, well then, why do we make the cruel choice? And no matter what you're going to say to me, you will not tell me what happens in a slaughterhouse to animals, because I've been there and seen it.
It's okay, but it doesn't matter.
It's cruel. So that's the thought I'm trying to get you to think. That
But does
animals suffer
have
terribly.
the same consciousness as a human does? We have very more.
We are.
Like we have more feelings than a cow would have, right? So being
Well, I don't know if we have more feelings. We understand more concepts
right, okay,
and
yeah.
stuff. Would that be fair?
I'd say
but
we-
they still
we-
feel pain and
we-
suffering the same way as you
yeah,
and me.
see if they have nerve endings. Like,
Yeah, but I'm saying if you made it quick and easy for them, they would never have the consciousness to realise what they missed out on. They would just live on a farm and eat grass for the rest of their lives. And
Yeah,
do
and
nothing
that's what they
much.
want to do. So that, I mean, that's their life. That's the only thing they own. Farmed animals as their life, and we take that from them. And it's not about consciousness too. Otherwise, you could get into the territory of, well, what if somebody's got a really bad mental illness? Is it okay to eat them because they're not fully conscious? You know, that's fucked up.
No, well, they're grounded.
Yeah, so
Who kills
we're all
humans?
animals. We are all animals. You would agree with that?
Right, humans and animals are different things. So
Why? We're different.
No, well-
We're different species, but we are all animals.
What do we all come from? Chimp?
we're
No,
all
we have a common
animals. At the
ancestor
end of
to
the day,
apes.
We're different animals. You can't disagree.
I
with
agree.
that.
Right, let me cover that one too. We are different than most other animals, but a dog's different to a giraffe. A giraffe's different than an elephant.
I also
We are
agree,
a
but
different
at the end
species.
of the day, we're not a fucking animal on the floor eating shit or whatever.
Well, animals don't eat shit. What's the special ability that we have then that's different than animals?
I don't know, can't think of one right now.
I mean, like, look,
So most people say intelligence.
Start with-
Most people say intelligence.
right.
Right. But that's biased and it's arbitrary because you're picking the one.
I don't think it's intelligence. It's more
You're picking the
knowledge,
one.
isn't it?
Well, you've picked the one that applies to us the most because we are the most intelligent animal. There's no doubt about that. Although there are loads of apes and dolphins and stuff are mega intelligent,
that's
but
what I was gonna
you can't fly. You're not the fastest runner. You're not the best climber. Whales can communicate to each other from 10,000 miles away, right around the ocean. So there are many things that animals are better at than we are.
We're the most
And I'm not
knowledgeable.
saying you have to. I'm not saying that animals are as important as humans. I'm not saying would you choose an animal over a human or anything like that. What I'm saying is, is an animal's life more important than a McDonald's burger for £1.19?
Fair, right? That's fair enough.
That's what I'm saying.
For like, yeah.
Does that make sense? Can I give you a card?
Yeah, sure.
How many do you need? 2 between you?
Yeah.
I've only got a limited number. I'll give you one. I'll give you one. See, the one I recommend to everybody to watch is the top one. It's free to watch on YouTube. It's not me. It's a guy giving a university tour in America, and it sounds as boring as fuck. Literally the best thing I've ever seen in my life, man. But it's just keeping the victims in mind the whole time. You know, people. You're taught not to care. You're taught to care about cats and dogs, and if somebody shoots a Harambe or a lion, you're supposed to care about it. But these other animals that suffer fucking terribly, man, nobody even gives them a second thought because you're taught that we have to do it. And if you don't have to do it, there's no necessity, then what's the argument? A wee bit of a taste difference, it's not worth it.
I'll try out some vegan.
What's your name, lads? What's your name? Appreciate it. What's your name? Appreciate you stopping by.
Peter.
Makes some sense, yes?
Thank you.
Alright, guys.
It's just the way people think, you know.
Of course, it's the way you're brought up,
Yeah.
man.
Like,
It's the way you're
omnivores
brought
have
up.
that same mindset. It's just,
see-
even though they could go for a full plant-based diet,
Yeah.
will they is a different question. They don't have morals.
Who's
But
that? Who?
Like a fox, maybe, right?
Yeah, they don't have agency. the way
They don't
we
have
do.
morals, right?
Yeah,
So
they're eating to
that-
survive.
we consider that okay, but because we have morals and we have the choice and we can decide.
Yes. You can decide. I can't make you the answer, man.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
just suggesting to you that there's a kinder choice, a more compassionate choice, a more empathetic choice. Guarantee you'd never hurt an animal. And it's just getting that, when you go into McDonald's, you buy a McPlant. When you go into KFC, you buy the vegan chicken nuggets, which I believe taste better than the normal ones. I don't know. I'm not saying they are. Greg's have about 10 different vegan items. Nero, Starbucks, Tesco's, anywhere you go now have vegan options. Tasty Birds down there have a whole vegan menu separate to their normal menu.
I think if everyone had morals and cared about animals like you do, then I think everyone in this world could go into a plant-based diet. But because there is humans that don't have that morality,
I agree.
then there will
agree.
never be a situation
I
where
agree.
animals won't be killed.
So there's people, when I'm talking to you guys, and okay, you're throwing up objections, and that's fine, because I have them too. And most people, before they go vegan, have objections. There are people who don't give a shit about anything, man. They don't care. They only care about themselves. They're selfish. They don't care about hurting other people, never mind animals. You know, so there are. I'm not here to talk to those people. I'm here to people who kind of understand it. You know.
I think if the world can achieve that, I think that's where you're.
Well, man, there already is burgers in the supermarket that taste exactly the same
Yeah,
as.
I think once the world gets to a point where that can be like mass produced, I think where I'll go fully vegan like you are.
Well, I will give you a card and let you think about it. Is one okay between you, or do you want one each?
I'll take one.
I'm going to ask you to watch one thing on that. There's a few resources on it. You see the one at the top there, the best book you'll ever hear? It's not me, by the way. It's a guy doing a tour of America, and somebody filmed it on their phone a few years back. It's 28 million views, something like that now. Gary Yourofsky's guy's name. just giving a lecture, 40 minutes long, sounds crap, because I thought, I'm not listening to this speech. 5 minutes in, I was like, man, I'm going vegan, I can't argue with this guy.
Right.
So if anything I said made any sense to you, listen to that guy someday you're lying at home 40 minutes and see what you think.
Okay.
And I appreciate you
threw me
still.
off, but
I know.
talking to you, I think you've got the right heart, but just as long as there is people with lesser morals or...
Of course, I wouldn't say it's less than morals.
Yeah.
Most people love animals.
Yeah.
They've just been taught to do something else.
I think you should change your sign though, because it's given the wrong.
What's that?
No. I think
your
no.
sign
No,
is saying that
I have other signs. This is reverse psychology, because most people...
His sign achieves exactly.
It worked on you, didn't it?
Yeah, it
Got
worked
you
on
over.
all of us.
Yeah.
That was
guess.
So I'm
perfect.
prepared to take a wee bit of here to get people into a conversation
Aye,
and
but
explain it to them.
walking around Belfast, some person will see that and just come
Yeah, but most people have seen me around with other signs and stuff, so I don't mind, man. If they check out my profile, they'll see I'm an animal rights activist. I do filming on farms and slaughterhouses and all sorts. So, listen, guys, what's your name?
Scott.
Appreciate you. What's your name?
Tyler.
Tyler.
Daniel.
3 cool names. Thanks for stopping, lads.
What's your...
Cliff. It's on there.
Oh, right, okay. Sweet.
Here. So you'll see all my videos and stuff, and I will definitely be using this. So
Yeah.
I'm working a lot this week, but inside the next week or so, I'll put it up.
Okay.
Cool.
It was good talking to you.
Thanks for stopping. All right, boys. Cheers. Have a good day.